Episode 3. Welcome back to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You've already learned why working for money traps most people. You've seen why financial literacy, not just income, creates wealth. And you've started to understand how protecting your money through business ownership changes the game. Now, in Episode 3, we step into the final and most transformational part of the journey. Today, you'll discover why the rich don't wait for money to come to them. They invent it. They create it through bold action, creativity, and a different way of thinking, and even more powerful. You'll learn why chasing paychecks is not the path to wealth, but chasing skills is. Skills that open doors. Skills that build businesses. Skills that multiply opportunities. In this final episode, we're not just changing your mindset, we're building the foundation for lifelong freedom. Because wealth doesn't come to those who work the hardest. It comes to those who learn the smartest. Let's dive into Chapter 5, The Rich Invent. Money and start building the skills that will change your future forever. Picture this. You see opportunities every day. In the news, at work, at coffee shops, online. While others move forward in Chapter 5 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki reveals a profound truth. The rich are not smarter than everyone else. They are simply more prepared to act. The rich don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They invent money using creativity, courage, and speed. This chapter isn't just about skills. It's about mindset. Let's dive deep into what separates winners from watchers. Most people believe that to get rich, you need more education, more degrees, more certifications, more security. But Robert's rich dad taught him otherwise. It's not necessarily the smart who get ahead, but the bold. Opportunity is everywhere. But only those trained to see it hand, ready to move on it, turn ideas into wealth. The average person sees obstacles. The rich see opportunities hidden inside those obstacles. The average person seeks security long before it appears in the bank account. Imagine two friends at a local auction. Both see a small, worn-down duplex being sold far below market price. One friend sees problems. Too much risk. Too much work. I can't afford the repairs. I could rent it, refinance it, and earn passive income forever. Same property, same information, different vision. The rich aren't playing a different game. They just play with different eyes. And when they see an opportunity, they move, while others hesitate. Real-life practical example, common struggle and transformation. Meet Jason. Jason was a junior analyst at a tech company. He earned a steady salary, saved diligently, and dreamed of one day starting something bigger. But fear kept him frozen. What if he failed? What if he lost money? One day, Jason stumbled across a startup founder looking for help. Instead of asking for a salary, Jason proposed a small equity partnership in exchange for consulting. He worked nights and weekends. At first, it seemed like a risky gamble. 2 years later, when the startup was acquired, Jason's tiny ownership stake paid him over $250,000. Not because he had more money, not because he was luckier, but because he saw a chance to create money, not just earn it. Jason learned, money isn't found, it's made. Most people think opportunity knocks once, maybe twice. But the truth is, opportunity whispers every day in conversations, in complaints people make, in gaps in the market. They trust themselves to move fast, and they understand that financial intelligence is simply having more options. Options create freedom. Options create wealth. Options turn ordinary people into extraordinary creators. You don't need more degrees. You need more courage, more creativity, and more commitment to act. You don't need to be perfect. You need to move when others freeze. The rich invent money because they invent action. Let's break it down. Money is an idea first, then it becomes reality. The rich don't just find opportunity, they create it. Courage and creativity matter. More than pure intelligence, the ability to see hidden value separates the wealthy from the stuck. You don't have to wait for permission. You have to give yourself permission. Money isn't waiting for you. It's waiting for your decision. Reflect deeply. When was the last time I hesitated and lost an opportunity? If I trained myself to look for problems, what possibilities would I see differently? What small, bold move could I make this month that shifts me from earner to creator? The rich aren't born different. They think different. And today, you've just upgraded your mind. Chapter 6. Work to learn. Not for money? Imagine this. You spend your life learning how to earn a paycheck, learning how to climb ladders, learning how to survive, but never learning how to be free. You become brilliant at working for money, and yet you stay trapped. In Chapter 6 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki shares one of the greatest secrets of wealth. If you want to become rich, don't work for money, work to learn. Learn the skills that multiply freedom, not just paychecks. This is the moment when surviving turns into thriving. Let's dive deep. Most people pick jobs based on one thing, how much they pay. But Rich Dad taught Robert differently. The primary reason the majority of the poor and middle class are fiscally conservative is because they have no financial foundation. In other words, they stay stuck because they never build the skills that unlock leverage. They know how to work in a system, but not how to create one. They master technical knowledge, but never master leadership, marketing, sales, investing, or innovation. The rich work for skills first. Then the money follows. Imagine two young graduates. Both start at entry-level jobs. Both earn modest salaries. The first focuses only on climbing the company ladder. More pay, better titles, longer hours. The second sees the job differently. He asks, what can I learn here about selling, about negotiating, about building systems, about leading people? 10 years later, the first graduate is a mid-level manager, still trading hours for dollars. The second owns his own company because he learned the skills that create wealth, not just the skills that chase promotions. Same start, different outcome, because wealth isn't built by waiting for raises. It's built by mastering the skills that build empires. Real-life practical. Example, common struggle and transformation. Meet Sophia. Sophia was an outstanding graphic designer. Talented, hardworking, reliable. But after 8 years, she realized she was stuck. Clients controlled her schedule. Bosses dictated her income. She was replaceable because her only asset was her technical skill. Sophia decided to change instead. Of focusing just on designing, she took sales training courses. She learned basic financial management. She stopped thinking like an employee and started thinking like an owner. 3 years later, Sophia launched her own creative agency. Not just another designer, she built a team. She built systems. She built a brand. Because she worked to learn, not just to earn, Sophia unlocked opportunities most people never even see. Here's the shift that most never make. Employees seek security. Owners seek skills. One path gives you temporary safety. The other gives you lasting freedom. In Robert's words, the more specialized you become, the more you are trapped and dependent on that specialty. Being great at one technical skill isn't enough. You must become a student of wealth building skills. Skills like communication, sales, and market instincts. Building leadership. The moment you master these, you stop waiting for money to find you. You start creating opportunities at will. Let's break it down. Don't chase the highest salary, chase the highest learning. Master skills that build assets, influence, and leverage. Technical skills alone trap you. Wealth is built by those who understand business, people, and money flow. You are not your job title. You are the skills you build and the freedom you create. Ask yourself, am I working harder only to earn more? Also, to learn more? What skill, if I mastered it this year, would open new doors forever? Where in my life am I trading security for short-term comfort? Instead of building skills for long-term freedom, true wealth doesn't come from what you earn. It comes from what you know how to create. And today, you've added another powerful tool to your arsenal. Congratulations, you've completed the full journey through Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You now know why working for money traps people in cycles of fear. You understand why financial literacy, knowing the difference between assets and liabilities, is the true foundation of freedom. You've learned how the rich protect their money through corporations and systems. You've seen how the rich invent money through creativity, boldness, and learning. And you've discovered that true security doesn't come from a paycheck. It comes from your skills, your assets, and your mindset. You're no longer just surviving. You're building. Thank you for walking this journey. If this series has shifted something inside you, subscribe, share, and stay tuned, because your wealth journey is just beginning.